Hello guys. So in this thing we are going to see how to develop a application form which validates our thing which we give into it using JavaScript, and we'll also design this application form using CSS, and we can also style that using CSS, and we are creating this application form with basic HTML, CSS and easier JavaScript. Yeah, so this is what the site which we are going to develop. So suppose if you give full name as MAH, which is not a valid name, right? And while you give submit, it will give you an error as please enter valid first name. So if you give the full name such as Mahendra, it will give you an error such as please enter the middle name, because the middle name box is empty. So if you give the value as Singh and if you give submit now, it will give you an error as please enter valid name. So we'll give it a valid name such as Dhoni, and we'll also give the date of birth. It doesn't matter guys, any date of birth of your choice. Suppose we are giving it a date of birth of 2001 January 2nd, and we are giving a day age of 1, or not 1. If you give a date of birth of any alphabet, it will give you an error shows as you have entered an incorrect age. So we are going to enter the correct age right now, and your form is submitted successfully. The alert message rises up over the top. So this gives us that we are correct. We have entered all the details successfully, and every detail has undergone the validation inside JavaScript. So now we are going to see how to implement this JavaScript validation very easily. So we'll move on forward, and we'll go to our text editor Atom, and we are going to save our first file as, we'll save it in our desktop application form, and we'll save this as application.html. Yes. So now we'll code on the HTML which we are going to implement. Okay. So we'll start off with that. We'll start off with doc type. Oh, that should be in caps. Doc type HTML and HTML language is English. This is, I mean, better guys. If you give the language as CN, it's always better. So because I mean, your text editor recognizes the language as EN, and it'll be easier for it to process it. So we'll start off with the head tag, and yeah, we'll give the title as application form. Give the title as application form, and then we have to okay, I mean, we link our CSS and JavaScript tags in the last, but I mean, now we'll move on to the basic front end part, which is the HTML. So yes, so that's it about the head tag. Oh, sorry, that's it about the head tag, and now we'll move on to the body tag. So body tag div, will create a class called as input field. That's right. We'll create, I mean, no, what we are going to do is we have to wrap our content into a box like this. So we have to create a class called as wrap or anything of your choice. And first thing which we are going to do is we have to write this application form. Am I right? So h1 application form, closing it, h2 tag. Then I'm opening a div. This, I mean, This div will give us ID and form. I mean, will not give us form. Will give us an error message. Will give us an error message. I mean, sorry, guys. Error message, and we'll keep this div class. I mean, as a null div. We are going to use the inner text element in JavaScript, and we are going to give the error message. The error message such as, I mean, if you give full name as mah, it will give you an error message. This is the error message. So this message will be printed in JavaScript. So we'll look to that in JavaScript. I mean, this division should be left empty. Okay. So then we'll move on to the form. So now we are going to move on to the form and give this form an ID as my form, and on submit, while submitting this form, we are going to return a function which validates the thing in JavaScript. So that will be more clear when we move on to the JavaScript. So I'm just declaring it here, or else you can also declare it in the end. So to avoid confusions, I'm declaring this function over here, because if we declare this function over here, it will be easy for us to declare the function in the JavaScript also. So yeah. So next, we have created a form as of now. Now we are going to move on with the input fields. Yeah. So div id is equal to input field. Now we are giving it as the input field. I mean, not id. So id classifies it uniquely. So we are giving it as class. Maybe class would make a good choice. So we are giving it as a class. So inside this, first, what should we give? Okay, we'll reload the page. So first thing which should give, which we should write is full name, right? So we are going to write as input type equal to text placeholder. That is the thing which we are writing inside the text box. Placeholder equal name and id. ID is very important, guys, because we are going to get this ID using the get element by ID in JavaScript, and using that ID we are gonna validate our thing in the JavaScript side. So this is the thing, and now we are going to close the div tag and we'll give a break maybe. And now the process is the same, guys. We are going to give the middle name, last name. So that doesn't make, I mean, we just have to copy this, paste 3 times maybe, and you just have to change the placeholder name, and that is last. And the id is very important, guys. ID should be unique. L name, I mean, sorry, this must be middle name, right? Middle name, this m name, and this is last, sorry, this is last name, this is last name. So yeah, we have completed this, and now we have to move on with the date, right? Date of birth. Yeah, so just create a div. I mean, this is not an input box, so we have to create a unique class dob, maybe dob may be a good choice. So dob, and we have to label for what is the id we are going to give there, I don't know, we'll check on over there, and date of birth, and we are going to close the label. Now we'll move on with our div, I mean not div, we'll move on with our input. Sorry guys. Input type equals date. And now is the thing which we have to give. Now we have to give our ID. So what is our ID? Maybe we'll give our ID as birthday, maybe. Yeah, birthday. And for birthday, so ID is birthday, type is date, and what we have to give? We have to give a name, maybe. No, name is not required over here. So that's it. So we are closing it. Is my thing? Yeah, I'll shift my face. 1 second. This is, hey guys, just give me a second. So, is it clear now? Yeah, my system is, yeah, we'll move on now. So we have created a class and we are given a date of birth. Yeah, we are given a date of birth. Now, what a thing we are going to do is age, right? So, I will give a break also maybe. That will be a good choice. And now we have to create div class equals input field. The same thing because we are going to get the input. The thing why I didn't give why I didn't give input field here because this is an embedded calendar. This is not a thing which we are going to type. This is just an embedded calendar. While we choose any value, your date of birth gets automatically filled. So that is why I didn't give input field over here. So, but we can give our class name as input field here, and we'll just directly get input type equals text and type equals text and placeholder. What is our placeholder? Placeholder equals to age, and what is important guys over here? ID. So ID is age, and we are going to give me a second, and we are going to close our div tag, give it a break. And now what we are going to do, we have created the form, right? We have created the form and we have to give this submit button. We have to work on this submit button. That is pretty easy guys. So we have to create a div class equals btn and input. What is the type over here? We are going to create a button, right? So type is button, and after creating the input type as not button, what we are going to give over here, we are going to give the value as submit, right? So if you give, that doesn't make any sense. If you give your type as submit and button, that does not vary. So you can give the type as submit and you can close the div tag and give it a break, and the form, close the form tag, close the div tag which we created as the wrapper in the top. I'll check it. So this is closing. Why is this showing error? Oh, this should be h2, right? Yeah, should be h2. So we have closed the division tag, we have to close the body tag, and then we are closing our HTML. So I'm saving this guys. So now I'm currently gonna open our thing. So we'll check where is our application. Application. I'm opening our application. So yes, this is what we have achieved guys. Why this is what we have achieved. So full name, middle name, last name, and but we are gonna style this using CSS. So we'll move on forward to that. So we'll create a link over here and we have to link this to our style sheet, right? So rel is equal to style sheet, and we have to link that to our CSS file, but we have not created any CSS file as of now. So we'll create a CSS file. Application form. We'll create a file as style.css. Style.css has been created, so we'll link that to style.css. Yes, so we'll move on designing we will move on styling our website guys right now. Yeah, so first all the elements in our thing, in our site should have a margin of 0, should have a padding of 0, and a box sizing should be of a border box, and outline there should be, I mean, there isn't any outline. That doesn't look, guys. That doesn't look good, guys. So font family, we'll give it as Josephine Sans would make up a good Josephine Sans and sans serif. Yeah, that does make good sense, guys. So yeah, sans serif we have created. Now we'll move on, guys. Body. A body tag is the thing which we are going to work. Is my thing clear? So yeah, we'll give a background. We'll give a background color to that. So what must be a background color? I've designed this as yellow, right? So we'll give this a background color of yellow. So what is the code of yellow? FEC 0C0, I guess. I mean, if I'm not wrong, FEC E0C. Yeah, that will be good. Now we refresh it. Yeah, we got a color. Now we have to wrap this up inside a container and we have to project that in the middle of the site. So we'll do that. So dot wrapper. Dot wrapper. Yeah, dot wrap. I mean, it's not wrapper, it's wrap. Dot wrap and position is relative. Margin left, we'll give it as some 480 pixels maybe, and margin top as some 30 pixels maybe. Max width of our box should be some 350 pixels. If you give 100%, it will occupy the whole body, guys. So this is 350 pixels, and a normal width should be of 100%. Sorry, 100%. Background, its background will give it as white. So white. Padding, so padding is the thing which we are going to separate the elements between them. So this is our padding. So padding 25 pixels, 25 pixels, 0 pixels, 25 pixels. So padding at the bottom wouldn't make a good choice, guys. So this must be a good choice. So border radius, the radius of the box, it will be 5 pixels. Yes, so we'll check on our site. Yes, this is what we wanted to achieve, right? But it isn't as good as the thing which we have developed. So we'll make it more attractive. Yeah, we'll give this border, we'll give this box of a border that will make it good. So we'll give a box shadow 4 pixels. 4 pixels, 2 pixels, RGBA. Our color is 254, 236, 164, 1. Yeah. Yes. So this will give a box a shadow, guys. Yeah. You see the corners? Isn't that visible, but we have achieved a border. So yes. So we'll move on forward. So after this, we have to align. I'm just moving on to the wrapper. Wrap of H2, text align. We are aligning our application form. We are going to application this thing in the center. So text align center, margin bottom as 20 pixels. Text transform. We'll give text transform as uppercase. And letter spacing as some 3 pixels maybe. 3 pixels would be a good choice. 3 pixels, and a color will give us some dark blue or dark, what color we can give, what color, we'll give just black, maybe dark black. So we'll give this as 332 902. Yes. That is it, guys. So yes, we have achieved what we wanted, but we didn't give a break over here. That is what the only difference is, right? So after this, give it a break. So we have achieved some 50% of it. right? 50% matches it. So now we have to style the box inside this. Okay, so we'll move on with that. So what we're going to do for that, so dot wrap dot input field margin bottom, spacing between the bottom of that should be of 10 pixels, would be of a good choice, right? 10 pixels, it spaces out, right? See, the bottom margin increases by 10 pixels for each of them. So this is unevenly spaced because we have given this a class, I mean different class. So we are also, oh, oh shit, we are also uh, we are giving this a class of dob. Dob is a class, right? So dob, yeah, now all are evenly spaced. Now what we are going to do is, and guys, we should also give a date of birth, the styling of our placeholder thing, right? So we'll give that thing. So we'll give that as a thing which we'll give that as color gray, and font size can be some 14 pixels. I'm just guessing it, guys. So we don't know what our placeholder font or color is. So I'm just guessing it. So margin left as 7 pixels. Okay. Now we'll see. Yes, we got that aligned. Okay. So now we'll move on with our type. So wrap dot input field input type equals text, right? Type equals text, border. We are going to give our input box a border of 1 pixel solid black. E0, E0, E0. Yeah. And width as 100% of our wrapper class. Padding. Padding is the thing, guys. Padding makes it looks more attractive. So, padding. We'll see. Yeah. We almost achieved. We almost achieved what we wanted. Yeah. So now, what we're going to do? So we have to design a submit button. We'll design a submit button. Yeah. So type equals submit, border is 0 pixels, margin top will give it as some 2 pixels, padding is very important. Padding will give it as 10 pixels to be equal to our input type text boxes, and text align will give it as some, it must be in center, so we'll give it a center, and the width is 100%, and the width is 100%, and our background should be the same yellow which we have given at the top. Copy this, paste over here. Background should be same, and the color is the black which you have given over there, 332,902. And text transform, it must be good if it is uppercase. Oh shit, text transformer is uppercase. Letter spacing, we'll give a letter spacing of more pixels, so 5 pixels, and font weight is bold. That's it, guys. So we'll check. Yeah, so it must be better if we give it a border, if we give it a shape, if you give a border radius, it must be of this, right? So we'll give it a border rate. So we'll give it as a border radius. What happened, guys? Oh, font weight as bold, and we'll give it as a border radius as some 25 pixels, and cursor is always pointer. Yes guys, so we have achieved what we wanted, right? So we have achieved the styling. We have achieved the styling, right? Yes, both are same. I'm just turning, both are same. Yeah. So now we are gonna move with the important part, and it's the easiest part. Actually, if you're confident with HTML and CSS, you can just skip the HTML and CSS part. You can just concentrate on our JavaScript part. So we'll move on with JavaScript. And before that, guys, for the error message, we have to style. We are given our error message ID of error message, right? Yeah. So for this error message to pop up, we are going to give a style. I mean, what I am trying to say is, if we give this as mah and give submit, our, I mean, this is coming right. This is our error message, and we are going to style that. Okay. So error message, we are going to style that as margin bottom. So it must be of a 20 pixel space for margin bottom, and its background should be red, right? So the red is of the color FV8B8E. FV8B8E. So padding is 0 pixels. Text align is center. Font size 14 pixels. Transition, so we are going to give it animation. So transition of all 0.5 seconds is, guys, that's it guys. So we are just given it. Now we can check our error message only if we give our thing in the JavaScript. I mean, if there is any error in JavaScript. So we'll move on to JavaScript. So while linking JavaScript, we should link our thing over here. So we are linking external JavaScript. So script src is equal to, we are giving a file as scripts.js maybe. Script dot, yeah, not maybe. We are closing our thing. Script. Yes guys. So that's it. So we are given this script. Oh sorry, this must be src, right? So yes, that's it. So we are given a script as, I mean, this is just a fix of Atom. This is a bug in Atom while you give script and everything goes in the HTML, but that won't make a difference, guys. So we'll make this a script src is equal to scripts.js, and so we have to create a new file in the application folder, and we are going to save this as in the application. Where is my application form? As scripts.js. Scripts.js. This is scripts.js, right? Script src is equal to scripts.js. We're going to close the tag. So we'll move on forward, guys. So we'll write on with scripts.js, guys. So we have given a function as validate over here, and on submitting, this is the function which is going to get returned. So this is the function which we are going to work with in scripts.js. So we are going to give this function validate, open it, and we are going to get, as I said we are going to get all the IDs, guys. So we are going to get to verify this, to this, everything. We have to get the elements in full name, last name, middle name, and things like that. So we are assigning them an ID. We are IDing them as F name, M name, and L name. So we are going to get that. So we are assigning a new variable called F name equal to, we are going to get the functions from HTML. So document dot get element. This is get element by ID, guys. This is kinda get element by ID. it is fname dot value. So yeah, so we're just gonna copy it, and for same we have to repeat the procedure for m name and l name, right? So this is m name and this is l name. We are getting the id and we are storing it in a variable called f name, l name, and m name and l name. So this is m name and this is l name. So we got the values for these things, and we are also gonna declare a dob, and we're gonna get that. There's a slight change in this, guys, so I'll explain that to you in the later part. So document dot get element by id. What is the id for dob which you are given? It's birthday, right? Yeah, so birthday dot value. Am I right? Yes. And the last one is our age. Age is document dot get element by id, and our id value is age, right? Id is age. So age dot value, not it's called value. Sorry. So yeah, guys, that's it. So we have got, I mean, we have assigned all the variables and we are getting the IDs. So we are assigned, I mean, we have assigned the variables for the things which we're going to get. That's it, guys. So, and also for error message, yeah, error message document dot get element by ID of, what's its ID? Sorry, error underscore message, right? That is its ID, right? Yeah, its IDs. So we have assigned everything. Now what is the job is, and we are also gonna we have missed out a thing over there, style dot padding. Its padding should be of 10 pixels, guys. So padding means, what I'm saying is, mah means we submit this one should be of 10 pixels. That is what I meant. So yeah, so this is of 10, sorry, let's come outside, right? Yeah, guys, so that's it. And we're also declaring a variable as text. This is what we are going to return. So this is text, and now we are going to start validating. This is the, I mean, we are not going to use regular expressions. We are not going to use big things. We are just going to use small things, and we are going to validate. I mean, it's very easy method to validate it. So if fname dot length, that's it, guys. If its length is 5, I mean, this is a basic method of validation. I mean, to use regular expressions and to use complicated methods, I'll add the videos in my channel later. So this is a basic method of validating it. So yes, so it will come as, I mean, if the length of the string is less than 5. So for example, over here, if I mean, our string is mah, its length is less than 5, it is nothing but 3, right? So if we are giving submit, it's I mean, I'll reload it. So if I give it as mah, it's showing us an error, but I'm reloading it again, and if it's equal to 5 or greater than 5, this is 5-letter word. So it's moving on to middle name because it's empty. So our first name got validated correctly, right? So yeah, we're gonna move on forward. Yeah, just a minute, guys. My phone is. I'll put it in silent. 1 second. 1 second, guys. Sorry, actually. Sorry, guys. Actually, yeah, I missed my attendance, so that's why. So yeah, we'll carry on. So if this is mah, if it's a 3-letter word or less than 5 letters, it should throw us an error. So this is our basic idea. We'll move on with that. So if fname dot length is less than 5, it should throw us an error as, we'll give a text. Please enter a valid first name, right? Yeah. Now we are appending this text to the error message, right? So error underscore message dot inner HTML. So this is how we are going to print it. Inner HTML equals text. Alright, yeah. So now we are gonna return false. We'll save this. Why we are returning false means if we return true over here, your form gets submitted. So there is no use. So we have to compare for middle name, last name, birthday, and age, right? So we have to give the return true in the last statement. So yeah. So if we give us mah, we'll reload this page and we'll give this as mah and submit it. Yeah, we are getting an error. So if we're giving it as Mahesh, the string is equal to 5, right? So we submit. There is no error. We'll move on. We'll move on with the middle name and last name. Hope you guys are clear with it, guys. So this we are changing it as m name, and we are changing this as middle name. Oh, sorry, middle name and another one. This is L name, right? L name, and this is last name, guys. That's it. So whatever the thing, we'll give it as Mahesh, Arvind. If you submit, we'll show an error as please enter valid last name. See, because we didn't give anything over here, so we'll give it as Venkatapati. Now, yeah, there are no errors. The form got submitted, but we didn't give any alert message as form got submitted, so we are not achieving anything. So we have to move on to the date of birth now. Date of birth is pretty complicated over here in the basic, but it's kind of easy, guys. So there isn't anything big that we should do, but go to the top and we have to declare a new date function. New date function is nothing but it sorts the date in a certain order and it compares. So like month, year, or years, day, month, and things like that. So where DOB, and the other thing is what we are going to do is we are going to declare a new variable called today equals new date, new date, new date, and yeah. Over here, if DOB is greater than today, and this AND operator, guys. So both the statements should be true to get a thing right. So if the DOB is greater than today means no person can be born tomorrow, right? If he gets born tomorrow, he cannot fill out the form today, right? So if the DOB is greater than today is the new date. New date is the function which it gathers the date from the system. So okay, so that's not a problem. So DOB is greater than today and DOB is not equal to null. It shouldn't be null too. Is not equal to null. We are giving it as text equals you have entered an incorrect DOB. We'll append this to error message dot inner HTML equals text, and we are returning false as usual. Return false. We'll run the code. So we'll check. We'll give this as Mahesh, this is Aravind, and this is Venkat. And we'll give the name as we'll give the date as some 17/9/2020, but our current date is 8/9/2020, so it must show us an error, right? We give submit. Yeah, we got it. We got an error. So yeah, so then we have to validate our age. So we have to check if the age is a number. So we are using is NaN function. So this checks if if it is a legal number or an illegal number is checked by is NaN function. So is NaN of age or age dot length is less than 1. You cannot be 0 years or some less than 1 year. So if age dot length is less than 1, text equals you have entered an incorrect. And guys, we are not gonna compare our DOB with the age. So in the many cases, we can directly get the age from a DOB, but we are making this process quite simple. I mean, this is a basic JS validation. So we'll integrate our thing in the future. I mean, I'll do that in my future videos, and you can see how I'm validating over there. While getting the date of birth, and the date of birth calculates the age and both compares over it and checks whether the age is correct or not. But in this case, it's easy to validate or like this itself. So yeah, and error message dot inner html equals text, right? Equals text, the return false. So that's it, guys. So we'll reload this page, give the full name, middle name, and last name, and date of birth. And if we give the age as J, we have entered an incorrect age because the age cannot be an alphabet, right? So we give our age as 18. There are no error, guys. But we have to acknowledge that, right? For acknowledging that, after all the if statement is over, you have to give the alert as form submitted. Form submitted successfully, and that's our alert message, and return true. So after this, every statement we are executing can be true, and our form will get submitted. So if we give true over here or here or here or here or here, our form gets submitted now and then and there. But we don't want that. We are returning false over there, and after all the forms get executed correctly, we are returning true. So yes, now we'll check it. Full name Mahesh, middle name is Arvind, last name is Venkat, and our date of birth is something we'll get, and the age is maybe 18. I mean, I mean, to be honest, if you take 2, 9, 20, 20, the age can't be 18, guys. So I'm just taking it as an example, but I mean, we are saying it as like, if you want that, we'll integrate that in our future videos. This is a basic thing to implement or validate JavaScript. So if you give submit, yes, so all our statement got validated, and this page says the form submitted successfully. That's it, guys. So we achieved what we wanted, right? So this is what we wanted, and we achieved what we needed. Yeah, that's it. So both the applications, we achieved it, guys. That's it. So this is a basic way to implement JavaScript validation, and if you learn more functions, you can easily go on with JavaScript and things like that. So in the next video, I'll talk about the snake game which I have developed. So we'll just move on in beginner level, intermediate level, and the high level. So I think that this basic validation of JavaScript is clear, and it is also being well presented by me, I guess. So if it makes your doubts clear and makes you understand the concepts, yeah, I'm happy, guys. So that's it. Until it's bye bye from Abhishek. Thank you.